話しするのは正義の騎士が邪悪な名式と戦う物語です。
破壊入力美しいハーモニー
天幕神の温床海よ
この身を包め。なかなか手強い学年だ。食材チルガイ謝罪ヒット。
Star Rail collab stream, yep. Yes, sir. Welcome back, everybody. Keeping my voice down because late where I am and I don't want security calling my ass in the middle of the morning. So, I'm gonna be quiet for the most part. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hope y'all looking forward to the stream tonight. God, always Gus a fucking welcome. Finally, something that's not fucking dog shit. Gus of Welkin. Oh, hey again. Good to see her in both chats, Athesia. Oh, looks like we have our next virtual crisis thing. I'll probably try this later today when I come back after a quick little nap.
分断という
Fuck, I forgot what my 4 echoes were on Cartathia.
分断と融合から生まれた力
Fleur-de-lis sword, I wanted crit damage, and then Nightmare Kelpie, I wanted crit rate. Okay, crit rate for Kelpie it is then. And crit damage on the Pilgrimage sword. It's already crit damage. Modify this into crit damage. Okay. Try to reroll
分断
these.
と融合から生まれた力
This is already pretty good. HP percent with basic and crit rate. Kelpie's kinda whatever. Let's see, what can I sacrifice here? Kinda don't want to sacrifice this. Kinda want to keep it for later. What about this one? I don't think anybody really uses Celestial set anymore. I think I can just say fuck this shit. This one I'll still keep just because it has 10.5%, but this one I think I'll just get rid of. Ooh. God damn. No HP bonus though, but double crit. She's still above 50k HP, so that's perfect. Excellent. Early stream, huh? Yep. Yes, sir. New arrow set is good for arrow MC apparently. Oh, that's good to know. Fortunately, I have no plans on building arrow rover. I'm too used to Spectra rover right now, so that's what she will keep. That's what I will keep her as for now. Ugh, dog shit. Yeah, not great. Actually, it's actually kind of fucking trash for Cartathia there. Can you guys even hear me? Because I know I'm speaking in a really, really low voice, and I think I already explained why. How much time we got? 20 minutes? Yeah, Star Rail stream about 20 minutes. 22 minutes. You can hear me? Okay, good. That's all I really care about then.
分断と融合から生まれた。
Uncovering past heroes. Okay, we gotta get this done. Sound normal, same as always? Well, I am speaking much lower than usual. Because again, I gotta keep quiet because it's the middle of the fucking night. Well, technically morning.
少しうたた寝を。
Not loud and clear. Hey, yo, King Bama, how's it going, man? Welcome back.
夢でしたか。
Short stream. Jufufu demo is hella cute. Yeah, that's what I've been told. You doing Grand Berserker stuff in JP right now? Oh, cool. Spectre Rover is still best to use. Arrow Rover is heavy on stamina, or uses up a lot of stamina. Ah, I see. Apparently, you can even still use Spectre Rover with the Cartathia too, which is kind of hilarious. Hey, TP Swiper, welcome back. Ayo, Fallout Alchemist. Welcome back. Finally, EU-friendly stream. Yeah, I suppose so, huh? Also, Gwen-chan, I just want to point out that your previous message got held back in chat by Twitch's auto mod. But I'll respond to that anyway. Of you saying, you know, Japanese dub. I prefer Japanese dub, so that's what I play in. If you prefer English, that's cool. But you know, don't go into other streamers' chats and criticize them for what kind of dub that they're playing. And you know, everyone's got their preferences. Where's the T button? There it is. Next area is over here. Let's see.
必死のライバルが現れました。
入力美しいハーモニー。
Oh, these guys are enemies.
神の本性。逃がしません。
ご清聴ありがとう。
Hey yo, Chrono, how's it going, man? One of the best things about WoA is its JP cast. Well, I'm glad that you enjoy JP dubbed as much as I do. Frolova and Galbrina are next. I'm obviously looking more forward to Frolova. Hopefully Galbrina's cool too then. Farming Zenless hard mode, really close to her signature engine. Nice. Best of luck. Rare React stream, yep. Haven't done one of these in a while. Figured it'd be a nice time to do it though. Ryuku getting cooked by Tectone's community. What's going on there? Oh, wrong area. Fast travel over here? The fuck? Hey, yo, BHS, how's it going, man? In 6 minutes, okay. Am I planning to stream FGO EOS announcement? If they actually do, then yeah, I'll be there for sure, but... implying FGO will ever EOS. Ryuku just leaked his DMs with Teki, showing how much of a hypocrite he really is. Maybe I should go thank Ryuku for that then. Maybe I owe him an apology that I wasn't familiar with his game. But before I do that though, I'd have to see the contents of the DM leaks. If it turns out to be just a fucking big fucking nothing burger, then it's whatever, but... Honestly, FGO would still be here until their 15th anniversary. Yeah, most likely. Tectone's orbit is falling down, I guess. Let's not go that far just yet. Ryuku's just one guy. Though I am curious to know what made him decide to do that. Couple minutes before the stream goes live. BRB, dinner real quick. Alright, take care, Krona. Enjoy dinner. Tectone threw Pokey out of his bus, right? More like he threw him under the bus. But I think that's what you meant to say. Heard some alleged schizo posting lately about alleged FGO EOS announcement. I mean, people fucking doom post FGO all the fucking time. Every year people fucking doom post about it. They doom posted about FGO dying because fucking Archetype Earth was added to the game or some shit like that. And at the moment, I have no reason to believe why FGO would even fucking EOS to begin with. I mean, Sony would be fucking pissed, but... would they be? I don't know. Why does everyone whine about, Endgame? You mean, EOS? FGO EOS? They do that every single fucking year. It's tradition at this point. Only if they make a new one. And I don't exactly have faith that they can actually make a fucking new one right now. Okay, final picture. There we go. Okay. Got all that done just in time. Waiting for Honkai Star Rail. There it is, right on time. Let me know if the stream volume is okay, especially relative to my voice. So let me know if I need to turn it higher or lower. Oh, it's actually kind of loud in my ear. Why is the fucking preview stream so fucking loud? Well, CCs ran out of content, so they PvP against themselves. Well, not so far yet. Not yet, anyway. Is it true that 3.0 is the next update for WoW? I actually don't know. That's good. That's a good point. Because 1.0 only went up to 1.4, right? And we're on 2.4 already. I actually don't know. Maybe it is 3.0 next patch for WoW. I guess we'll see. Excuse me. All the bookstores in Japan have sold out every Divine Comedy book because of Dante releasing an FGO. Yeah, I've heard. I heard about that. Yeah, FGO's influence in Japan goes fucking crazy. Random ass normie book publishers in Japan scratching their heads like, why is Dante's Inferno all of a sudden selling out like hotcakes? Snacks ready. Got my drink ready. Already been drinking it. Worst collab in gacha gaming. Oh yeah, you know that for a fact, Akari. We can fucking read him like an open book at this point. Fucking rat. Imagine FGO 10th anniversary, they announced an actual collab event. Yeah, that'd be fucking funny. But probably not. Ryuku covered the recent Nichi-Sanji drama with CN, with China, how he kinda lost his sponsor for WoW. Oof, that sucks. Well, I guess Nichi-Sanji tubers now are gonna feel what Hololive's been dealing with the last fucking 3-4 years. Wonder what happened there. Ten seconds. Right. Crank the stream volume back up. Program sponsored by Lady Aglaia. She's fucking dead though.
神々よ、ご覧ください。オンパロスは勝利を収め、再創期が間もなく訪れます。しかし、本当にそうでしょうか。
Also, why is the trailer in Japanese?
最近、エルシオンの景色がまぶたの裏をよぎるんだ。
最後の一人になったとしても、再創
We're
生
not,
の
we're
意
not
見を
on the
成し遂げ
Japanese
てください。
Star Rail channel, are
新
we?
世界は必ず訪れる。
Awesome.
黎明を
trailer is really loud. Holy shit.
星々を燃やし尽くす諸行をもたらそう第1回キノコに聖杯戦争
They just straight up put a fucking Holy Grail
あ
war
な
in
た
here.
が私のマスターか燃えたけ騎士の魂よ暴風よ舞い上がれ
Oh, that's cute. She has a bit of armor on her shoulder.
機は熟した逃げ場はない
Oh, instead of unlimited blade works, they just gave him that scene from the anime.
汝は開白の黎明が訪れるまで灼熱の太陽を背負い続ける
死者を花から呼び出して殺し合わせて勝者が全てを手に入れる
行かなくちゃいけない背負わないといけないんだ
キノコ人の伝説はあれ
What the
ど
fuck was Robin
英雄
doing
はいないと
お任せを
私見ました壊滅これにて完成宝石の余震をもって来世に暁を
JP means that by one time the trailer was first made, the VAs were still on strike. That's true, yeah. But then again, couldn't they have just redone it with new VAs? Oh god, I have to fucking write down the code. I'm gonna have to rely on YouTube chat to fucking post it in chat. Lancer? No Lancer, unfortunately. I mean, Lancer wasn't even a main character in EBW, unfortunately. Actually, is he even technically a main character in any of the routes? Technically, Lance is more of a side character, so it was obvious he wasn't gonna make it in. Oh god, I guess I'm gonna have to type it in fucking manually. TJ6 CV TUL. Fuck. Too late. Took too long.
Hey, Mr. Albert?
Hello
Albert.
Woo! And whether or not you have a day-night cycle, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to the version 3.4 for The Sun is Set to Die special program. I'm your most beloved host, Albert.
Rebooting really does solve all problems. Now we can introduce ourselves. Hi, everyone. I'm Finan. I'm so happy to be on the special program.
Hello, everyone. I'm Anaxagoras.
Nice to see all of you again. Did you miss me?
Oh, of course we missed you. Well,
Is that
dear
March?
guests, welcome to the show. I have been looking forward to this
Oh, it's
special
not March,
program
it's
more
Mim.
than anything else. The way the story in the last version forward to this special program more than anything else. The way the story in the last version left off had my heart racing.
The burning sky, and the fall of dawn. Akuma was the last place under Kefali's protection, but now it is also
One of Archer
sunk
and
into
Saber can have
Evernight.
English voices.
All of our
I mean,
Chrysosaur
I'm pretty sure
companions
EBW
did
had an
everything
English
in their
dub,
power to buy
so
precious
the
time for
logical
the
assumption would be
Trailblazer
that yes, they
Infining,
would.
so they
However,
could return
collabs
the
are
very
weird.
last core flame to the vortex of Genesis.
We already found out the truth. So what do a few sacrifices
I believe Alloy
matter?
and Genshin is
Every
dubbed in all
Chrysos
4
heir was
languages.
prepared for this.
So I'm assuming
You just
Saber
need
and
to
Archer will
boldly
be as
take
well,
that
but
last step
we don't know
toward
for
the
now.
Era Nova.
Guess we'll find out later.
But in the trailer just now, it seems like Finan is gonna go through a lot. I saw a few scenes that looked like flashbacks, and I think I even saw a different form of him.
The truth of Amphoris is about to
FGO
reveal
characters are
itself.
summoned in Pinacony.
Soon everyone can already tell.
That makes sense,
that all
actually.
that's happened in
Well, actually, it
Amphoris
doesn't.
is not as simple as it seems.
Indeed. For example, when we
I
went
guess
to
the only
fight
thing that makes sense
Aqua,
about it is the
we
fact that, you
noticed
know,
that the Eye of
they can treat
Twilight
the Holy
seemed
Grail War as like a sort of like
unusually high
game, I
tech.
guess.
And when the Dawn device
And it
went
sort
out,
of sets, it
many
sort
of
of
the
fits
structures
the
in Akuma
Pinacony
and the vortex
setting
of
more, I guess,
Genesis
but
started showing
other than
strange
that,
textures.
Not really sure.
It was like the whole world was peeling off.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we take a look back at our whole journey so far in Amphoris and lay out our suspicions and clues we have? First, at the end of the 3.3 story, the geniuses reveal that the source of Amphoris' tragedy is an Emperor's scepter that survived to this day.
It has something to do with that erudition god beyond the sky, doesn't it? Even though I don't quite understand these principles, this breeding ground, which switched from
Think
following
only
the path
JP
of
dub and
erudition
no
to the
English?
path
I
of
guess we'll find out.
destruction, must be hiding secrets beyond Aranova.
In addition, that Tin Man Lygist is also pretty suspicious. He and Finan
Worst
had a
collab in
pretty
Gacha Gaming, but all your
significant
friends who play
conversation in the
WoWa are curious
vortex of
what even was the
Genesis.
point of
Actually,
what
I
even
was
the point is
already
of
suspicious of him when
what was
he
Cyberpunk
said he
collab?
could fix the express and send the
I mean, on
Trailblazers
its
back
own,
home.
without the comparisons,
Well,
collabs don't
romance
have to
is
make
coming on
sense.
now.
Based on my interactions with him, Lygus doesn't seem to have any desire to oppose the Chrysos heirs.
Yeah,
Rather,
if
he
you're
only
comparing
wishes
it
to
to,
quietly
or if you're
observe
saying that in the
everything as it
context of
unfolds.
Saint
Could
Tontus
it be that
probably
everything
making a
that's
video
happened so
tonight or
far
tomorrow,
is exactly what he wanted
or
to see?
later today or tomorrow, fucking
That title,
bitching about, you know,
Fioros, does
Star
mean
Rail's
spectator. If we
UBW
combine
collab, then
this
yeah.
information with what we know about the relationship between the scepter and paths, maybe Amphoris
God,
is
they're
being
yapping a
used as a
lot.
chessboard by people from beyond this world, and Lygus is one of them.
Oh, you're exactly right. If the situation in the cosmos is like a game of chess, then Amphoris is a trap to set up the checkmate. But who knows? Maybe the chess pieces themselves can overturn the board. The hero's Aranova could affect the worlds beyond the sky, and the Trailblazers' choices may also determine the future
Yep.
of the universe.
But before the Aranova actually arrives, there's no way to tell what it will bring. The Trailblazers have already done so much for Amphoris. I don't want them to have to experience the unknown of Aranova.
As someone from beyond the sky, they already risked a lot by taking on a demigod's divine authority. If something were to happen in the Aranova...
No, we can't let them stay. They have to listen to Finan and go home.
Well said. The Trailblazers won't betray the sincerity you've shown them. However, their fate will still be tied to that of Amphoris. They'll be returning to the battlefield with a very important mission.
On the other hand, I suspect many of our audience members, like me, have some questions about Finan. That Finan we saw in the Vortex of Genesis at the end of the 3.3 story? Why was his name hidden?
Well, maybe that Finan isn't the one we're all familiar with.
Oh?
Mm-hmm. But I'll leave the specific
Gee,
details.
I wonder
to
what his
find
real
out
name could be.
themselves in the game in version 3.4. I've actually got
Does it
some
start with
other
a K,
information
perhaps?
to reveal to you.
What kind of information?
Following the story's progress, as I've written, we'll receive a big update in this version. In these records that we've kept, you will be able to catch a glimpse of Amphoris' true nature.
Before, as I've written was like a storybook, keeping record of our friends' stories. Now, even its appearance has changed. It feels like something big is about to happen.
It looks like it's turned into some kind of database.
You can use
Horror
this system
streams always
to unlock
yap.
even more of
You watch how
Amphoris'
Hypergriffs and
secrets.
Crows streams, they don't yap so much.
right.
I mean, they still yap, but
Aside from the major updates too,
I think I agree. I think Crow doesn't yap
doesn't
doesn't yap this much either.
Is finally
typically.
going live in version 3.4.
I mean, it's better than FGO
Story
streams where they
dialogue
fucking
can now
yap
be
for half
skipped
an
by
hour and
section,
just by
plot
shilling
summaries,
fucking
and the
dog
main
shit
characters
merch
that appeared in each section
that only
displayed
Japanese
along
people
the
can
way.
buy.
Now you can choose the
Slightly
pace of
better than that, at
storytelling
least.
based on your own preferences. In version 3.6,
Are they
there'll
talking about
also
skip
be
button
a
here?
Story recap function. Stay tuned. But of course, as
Thank
we
fuck.
move into version
Ironic
3.4,
though that
we shall take the
they give us a
final
skip
step
button with the
of
patch
the
that actually
prophecy
has a
together
fucking collab
and
story in it.
witness the truth and the fate of this world. And the myriad celestia that Mr. Shaoji hinted at in the version 3.2 preview.
Shaoji
Finally
mentioned,
going live
fuck
soon.
him.
Oh, you mean what's happening beyond the sky? Is it also related to Amphoris
Not as long
and
as Blue
Aranova?
Archive yap,
We'll
yeah.
have to keep
Blue
it a
Archive
secret
yap
for
is
now.
pretty bad too.
Meanwhile, we'll be releasing an animated short. This animated short contains a very important part of the
I'm
story
assuming that's
version
Baby Kevin.
3.4. Can't spill too much here, but I can give you a little teaser.
Blaze that skip button
This
like
short
no
will come
tomorrow.
with its own
Yeah,
original
2
theme
years,
song.
2 years late, but
So
better
don't
late than
miss it.
never.
Awesome. Nice.
I can't wait to dive into the new story already.
Next, why don't we turn our attention to our good friend Viden and take a look at his story together.
Mr. Kevin. Seems like a new area. Can open also mention where? They might mention him later when they start previewing Saber and Archer. Considering they're dripping Finan first, I wonder if he's going to be up first, actually. Hey, White Fury, how's it
What in
going?
the world happened to Finan to make
Welcome
him
back.
change this
Hope you've been doing well.
This is nothing like the warm,
After you having a
sunny
skip button
person we
makes
all
sense to
know.
introduce it to on the
Now
same
he
patch
seems
to Star Rail.
Strange and
I wonder if
formidable.
Nasu forced Shaoji to put a fucking skip button to the story.
when our buddy first
I
showed
would
up in
laugh if that were the
Amphorius.
case.
Finan was one of the first Chrysos heirs to genuinely welcome them.
Yeah,
And when danger came
Fintrail.
knocking, he always had
Blue
our
Archive will be
back.
on Steam on
But
the
behind
24th.
that kindness and reliability,
So next week.
Finan
Next,
carries the
Tuesday?
expectations of
Wednesday?
many. He
But
is
yeah,
the
it'll be
deliverer
out on Steam
chosen by
pretty
the
soon.
prophecy, and Aglaya's hand-picked successor of the Flame Chase journey. Aglaya even used her own death to set him up for success by making the Council of Elders the focus of criticism, and allowing Finan to step up and rally the people.
Yeah, all of us have high hopes for him. Some even call him the deliverer of Amphorius. Even Cypher, who barely ever showed her face, used to call him Little
She's
Deliverer
dead too.
Boy.
It's as if everyone just assumes that he'll be a savior.
Now I'm curious. What was Finan like before he joined the Flame Chase journey? Was he one of those perfect kids everyone got compared to?
Before the Flame Chase journey, guess we've got to go back to my hometown, Ides Elysiae. It was a
Say
small,
what?
remote village. Nothing flashy, but far away from the chaos.
Ooh, sounds like a real peaceful place.
It was. And even though the village was small, everyone got along really well. There were also beautiful rivers and mountains, and even a forest. That forest was home to all kinds of little fairies. When I was little, I'd go exploring the woods and visit those cute fairies. When I wasn't exploring, I'd go play with my friends by the sea. We pretended to be heroes from the old stories and practiced our, swordsmanship. When we got tired, we went to lie down in the wheat fields until we got called home for dinner.
No strife?
YouTube
no
chat is
invaders,
right.
or
This
any
place
of
does
that
kind of remind
deliverance
me of
crisis stuff?
does kind of look like
Seems
Liyue a lot.
complete paradise.
The wheat fields look gorgeous too. Lying there, surrounded by golden waves of wheat.
Superman
with
from
the
Smallville
breeze
story,
carrying that
yeah.
Sweet malted scent. Oh, just
You're
the
right.
thought of it is enough to get me excited.
And guess what? You won't have to imagine for long. In version 3.4, we get to explore Ides Elysiae alongside the Trailblazer. Learn about Finan's past, how he became a warrior, joined the Flame Chase, and grew into the person he is today.
Can't wait!
From a carefree little kid to the deliverer carrying everyone's hopes, you've really come a long way.
These days, Finan just gives off this heaviness. Like he'd still press on, no matter how exhausted, just to live up to everyone's expectations.
Amphorius needed a hero, so he became one. The Chrysos heirs needed hope and a leader, so that's who he became. Looking back at the
if
main
only it were
arc of
that
this
easy.
version, even though Finan's face is still the same, his whole vibe has shifted. His gaze is now sharp and commanding, completely different from before. Now we're just one step away from the era Nova that the prophecy foretold. The deepest truths of Amphorius are about to come to light. What trials lie ahead, and what choices will Finan make?
A hero's journey is never easy. but if the will in your heart is strong enough, no fire can burn you out. If anything, every trial is just a forge for an even brighter soul. I am more than ready.
Well said. Then, let's let everyone experience it all themselves in version 3.4. Now let's take a look at how Finan performs in battle.
You got it. I'll first show up in the familiar form everyone knows. When using my skill, I'll deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. The use of my skill also grants me core flames. Once I've collected enough of them, I can activate my ultimate.
Wait, so core flames only come from using your skill?
Not at all. Finan can also gain core flames when he's selected as a target by a teammate or enemy ability. If he is the target of a teammate's ability, Finan will deal even more damage.
When I use my ultimate, I'll create a territory and transform.
After transforming, Finan powers up massively. Teammates temporarily retreat and can't take action while he faces
basically
the enemy
Acheron
head-on
2.0
with
it seems
newfound
like.
Strength.
All alone? That sounds way too risky.
No worries. All the talents and buffs from Finan's teammates still stay active to provide him with much needed.
It's Kevin, guys.
Exactly. After using the core flames to transform, I have access to the powers of 3 kinds of titans: Creation, Calamity, and Foundation, each with a brand new ability.
Care to elaborate on that?
Tapping into the power of the Creation Titans, I can deal damage to one designated enemy and adjacent targets. Calling upon the power of the Calamity Titans, I'll enter a special state called Soul Scorch. In this state, I'll force all enemies to immediately take action, during which I receive reduced damage, and each hit I take builds up the Soul Scorch stack. Once all enemies have taken action, I retaliate, dealing damage to all enemies and then unleashing multiple instances of damage on one random enemy.
Heads up. The more Soul Scorch stacks he's got, the stronger that counterattack hits.
Using these 2 abilities also grants me an exclusive charge called Scourge, which fuels my 3rd ability. With the power of the Foundation Titans, I dispel all debuffs on myself, then use Scourge Charge to deal bounce damage. If I've maxed out the consumable Scourge Charge, I also slam all enemies with extra damage.
Once all his actions have been used up, Finan will unleash one final blow, hitting all enemies before removing the territory. Finan's technique is pretty unique too. Upon casting it, Finan instantly strikes all enemies in a certain radius. If they're normal enemies, they're immediately wiped out without even triggering
Oh yeah,
battle.
Acheron definitely just feels like Acheron
All
2.0.
enemies? That's nuts.
Of course, power comes with a cost. This technique consumes 2 technique points.
If the technique misses, it won't cost any points. Plus, when Finan's in the team, the technique point cap goes up by 3.
When I use my technique to enter combat, I'll also regenerate energy for my teammates. In addition, at the start of each wave, I'll deal damage to all enemies and gain Scourge.
Oh, I see.
Alright, now that we've wrapped up Finan's combat abilities, it's time to bring you some updates on a few familiar faces. In version 3.4, Silverwolf, Blade, Kafka, and Jingliu are all getting some serious enhancements.
Let's go!
Alright,
Oh, Mr. Albert, please do tell us what's changing.
show us the
Let's
buffs.
start with Silverwolf. After the optimizations, her ultimate now lowers the defense of all enemies instead of just one.
Oh, so it's AoE now, not single target.
Exactly. Meanwhile, she'll prioritize adding a weakness that matches the type of the first character in your lineup. On top of that, Silverwolf will regenerate extra energy at the start of combat and the beginning of each turn.
Oh,
Thank
that
God
makes
for
it a
no
lot easier to
no
apply the
more
weakness we
RNG on her
actually
fucking
want.
skill.
Next up, Kafka. After the buffs, Kafka's skill will trigger more DOT on enemies. And whenever a teammate hits an enemy target with any kind of attack, Kafka will launch a follow-up attack. After unlocking certain traces, the
So
follow-up attack
upgrade
can also
from
trigger extra
specifically
DOT
basics
on the
to
enemy.
literally
And using
anything.
her ultimate recovers the number of times the follow-up attack can be triggered.
So basically, Kafka's got more frequent follow-up attacks, better efficiency applying debuffs, and an overall boost to DOT output.
Yeah, for sure.
And now for Blade. After the update, he will deal damage to enemies based on his max HP. When Blade enters the Hellscape state, he is more likely to be attacked, and his follow-up attacks will regenerate extra energy.
Sounds like Blade can trigger more follow-ups.
Hopefully,
and use his
he
ultimate
scales
more
off of
often,
pure
meaning
HP
his
now instead
total
of
damage output's gonna
HP
spike.
and attack.
Good observation. A change will happen to Jing Liu as well. Now she'll deal damage to enemies based on her max HP.
Yeah, I heard about
Each
this
time
one.
a teammate loses HP, Jing Liu stacks extra crit damage. After she enters the spectral transmigration state, she'll also gain a stack of syzygy. That means the spectral transmigration state lasts longer, and her overall damage
Why
output
does
climbs
Jing Liu
even
have
higher accordingly.
4 dots?
Our old friends sure are getting some solid upgrades. But with all these abilities,
Is she at C0 or E0?
Oh, don't
Or
worry,
is she
Professor
at
Jackson.
a higher
Some of our
Eidolon
old friends'
level?
Eidolons will be tweaked to better match the revamped kits, making sure everything stays in sync.
But what if someone wants to stick with their previous version of their abilities?
That won't be a problem. You can switch between our friends' ability modes freely, so choose whichever version you like best. For more details, be sure
They
to
can
keep an
do
eye
that,
out
but they
for
still
official
haven't
announcements.
introduced
Sounds
toggleable
Aside from the ability
constellations or
viewers,
Eidolons.
one more old friend of ours is getting something new this time around.
Oh, who is it?
In version 3.4, Firefly's brand new outfit, Spring Missive, is making
Oh
its
yeah,
debut.
the schoolgirl outfit.
Look at that.
Ooh, let's take a look at the video clip first.
Did they
With her
change
school
Sam's
uniform
armor?
on, Firefly looks more youthful than ever. And that firefly-shaped brooch on her chest? You can tell she put a lot of thought into picking it out.
Maybe she even asked for fashion advice.
Milk
from
everything
her
for
fellow
QOL.
Stellar
Well, the buffs are
hunters.
free, so
Well,
that's not
Miss Coffee
entirely
does
true.
have an eye for style. They must have talked a lot about it behind the scenes.
Even her mech's had a makeover. You think she spruces it up during downtime to match her outfit changes?
Oh, totally.
More
possible.
accurate for
If I had to
Jing
mech,
Liu. Yeah, I
I'd
suppose
also
so.
Probably coordinated with my outfit.
We'll see how
New
much better she is
colors.
in game.
The whole look has to be consistent. You'll be able to grab Firefly's new look from the contract shop using Oniric shards. And again, please stay tuned for further details and future official announcements. Next, let's take a look at this version's banners.
Excuse me.
In version 3.4's first half warp event, Trailblazers can acquire the limited 5-star character Find It. And the limited 5-star light cone, thus Burns the Dawn, will have a boosted drop rate. Also, a brand new 4-star light cone for the Path of Remembrance, the story's next page.
Hey,
is
Blazing,
being
thanks for gifting
added
2
to
subs,
the
man.
first
Appreciate
half
it.
banner. At the same time, we'll also kick
One of your
off
gifted
a
subs went to
special
Fate
warp
Shido.
event. The
Very
limited 5-star
appropriate for the stream.
Treevee, Sunday, and Sparkle are
Wow,
coming
that's a
back.
killer
Plus,
fucking
5-star light cones,
rerun
time
lineup.
were
What
a
the
flower,
fuck?
a grounded
3
ascent,
returning Harmony
so the
characters? Are you
escapade
fucking
will
kidding me?
Return as well. In the second half of version 3.4, we've got another round of special warp events. Limited 5-star characters, Firefly, Jing Liu, and Blade will be back along with the limited 5-star light cones. Whereabouts your dreams rest, I shall be my own sword and the unreachable
Still
side.
no Rappa rerun.
Two of our newly buffed old friends are making a comeback in this version. What about Kafka and Silverwolf?
Here's a little sneak peek. Limited 5-star characters, Kafka and Silver Wolf, will be back in version 3.5. And the limited 5-star light cones, Patience is All
Actually,
You Need,
isn't-
and Incessant Rain will
Can't
rerun
you-
as well.
Nice.
Isn't
Also,
Blade already
8
part of
new
the
4-star
perma lineup
light
now?
cones will be added to the
Why-
Amazon
why is he
rewards
getting
in
a-
version 3.4?
I see
Or is
quite a
he-
few
is
familiar
Blade not
faces
part
on
of the,
light cones. There
the
are a
perma
few mini
lineup?
versions of Chrysos Heirs.
Looks like Finan really does enjoy spending his days in the wheat fields.
I thought
Nature's mattress. Can't beat that level of comfort.
oh, he's not
For
perma?
sure.
Okay, for some reason I thought he
All
was.
right, let's take a
Maybe
quick
I'm
break. There's
thinking
still
of
more
other
version
characters.
3.4 content coming your way.
Lots of other 4-star light cones. That's good to see. Hopefully they're not all fucking goddamn gacha locked. you could lose the 50-50 to unlimited banner during if you do you mean during what is it? Oh no, I know what you mean. He's part of the perma pool, but only if you roll on limited banners. Gotcha. Gotcha. I understand.
Welcome back! Let's take a look at the events in this version. A piece of good news.
Considering they already revealed the both halves of banner, how are they going to decide on how to do saber and archery?
Is that the cute match 3 game?
That's right! The International Peace Corporation has officially sponsored Origami Bird Clash and hopes to promote this arcade game full of Pentagonian
Things
flavor
is the Candy Crush
throughout
game.
the whole
Seems like people like this
and
one.
the first step to starting that grand venture will be to open up the original shop arcade on the Trailblazers Radiant Feldspar.
There needs to be some new game modes for the game to make a name for itself, right?
Of course! This time, the 2 players will take turns acting on the same field, and every player has a set number of moves. You can eliminate 4 or more fruits to form bombs and obtain extra moves.
You can also get extra moves when you swap 2 super bombs to trigger a combo elimination.
Oh no! I see obstacles popping
Is
up
this
on the field. How are we supposed to
so
deal
is this
with
co-op?
those?
Not to worry. In
Nah,
this
it can't be
version of the
co-op, it's still
Origami Bird
PvP.
Clash, there will be lots of new items that can help you in battle. For example, Shattering Hammer can eliminate any individual fruit or obstacle. Spicy Bomb can turn a fruit
Sunday is
into
pretty
a
much
bomb,
the
and
perfect
Reset
support.
Cube can reset all fruits on the field. Leveling up items will also make them more powerful.
As long as you pick the right item at the right time, you can turn the tide and deliver a powerful blow to your opponent.
Probably not wrong.
There are plenty of familiar faces among our opponents this time.
That's right. Trailblazers can still battle against many old friends in this event. In addition to participating in story challenges, Trailblazers can also do open challenges with friends from across the universe. This multiplayer mode won't end with version 3.4 either. Origami Bird Clash will replace the Seal Slammers multiplayer mode and become the new long-term co-op game mode.
We're done slamming seals. Now it's time for slamming paper birds.
All right, let us continue with more version content.
Is that better or
Our
worse than
friend
clubbing
Gifts of
seals?
Odyssey returns as usual in version 3.4.
Nice!
The Planar Fissure and Realm of the Strange events will also return. Complete the challenges to get double rewards.
Yep. In version 3.4, Stagnant Shadow, Shape of Cinders, will also come online. And you can obtain the Ascension material, Charred Bud of Twilight, for wind characters upon completing the challenge.
At the same time, the planar ornaments, Arcadia of Woven Dreams, and Revelry by the Sea will also come online. Trailblazers can obtain them in the Divergent universe.
Ah, why did my seat collapse?
Don't know what that joke
In
was.
addition, I'd like to share with you some information about a few events outside the game. First, the annual Hoyo Fest Off-Light exhibition will begin in July. This year's event venues have been completely upgraded, and the events will be
They need to
held
show
in
Saber
core
3-turn
cities in
looping.
6 Southeast Asian countries.
That's right. We've also prepared a lot of event missions and new merchandise. Please follow our official channels for details about the events and tickets.
In addition, Honkai Star Rail will be joining Anime Expo this July. Come visit the Star Rail booth and claim free limited gifts.
A special panel for Honkai Star Rail will also be held at Anime Expo.
Oh, they got
featuring
the
several
Trash Taste
special
boys to host it.
guests.
That's cool.
Please keep an eye out for more info and official announcements. See you at Anime Expo.
Well, thank you all for your kind introductions. Let me see. We're almost out of time.
Albert's a
Moving
fat
on to our
bird.
next show in just
He's
a
cool though.
You seem mighty busy, Owlbert.
Well, I am a professional super host.
What's
Oh,
going
no.
on?
Oh, goodness,
Albert,
Albert.
no.
Hey, my time yet?
And he's gone.
Whether or not your world has the concept of a holy grail. Welcome
Alright,
to the
now it's
live
time for why we're all
stage
here.
of the Honkai Star Rail and Fate's Day Night Unlimited Blade Works Collab Special Program.
Ah, long time no see, everyone.
They hosted last year's panel.
I'm
Oh, I
venturing
see.
from the Interastral Peace Corporation.
Howdy, Galaxy Ranger Boot Hill, at your service.
Welcome, both of you. Albert, have
Makes sense that they host this
apparently
year's
been
panel
summoned by
too.
the Holy
They even did
Grail.
a few. They even did a few voice
Albert,
acting lines, or they voice
could your
acted a couple
class
lines in the
be
game itself in the beginning.
Speaker.
Son of a gun. Ah, that's funny.
His weight
You
pulled
two
into
can
the
call me
collab.
presenter instead. That sounds nicer.
Well, presenter doesn't sound half bad. In that case, why don't you present the situation to our audience? Explain what you meant by summoned by the Holy Grail and why we've arrived at Pentagon.
It's really surreal
Well,
hearing
the cosmos is full of surprises.
fate terms being
Soon
spoken
after
in
the
a
ripples of the
fucking
Charmony Festival called,
official
the
live stream by a
Trailblazer
different
received
company.
a secret invitation from old Odie, head of the Alfalfa family. It turns out that the old Jen is planning a brand new entertainment spectacle called Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War.
Wow. Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War. Sounds like a Holy Grail War is taking place in the Sweet Dream.
That's right, but I have no idea where old Odie got his Holy Grail from. Let me give a brief explanation of everything here. It's said that the Holy Grail is a wish-granting chalice that can manifest any miracle. And the Holy Grail War is a magecraft ritual for
Oh,
obtaining
if only they
as
knew.
long as you win in the brutal contest of the Holy Grail War, the Grail can fulfill your wishes.
That dadgum Wubba Boot Charmony Festival has only just concluded, and they're putting on a new show already.
Hey, don't forget that Penacony prides itself on being a holiday resort. How are they gonna attract tourists if they don't have any events? Besides, didn't the last Charmony Festival have a little accident? I mean, that probably wasn't great for Penacony's image. The family's definitely gonna want to find another opportunity to generate some buzz.
Well, I heard that old Odie hopes to make the Penacony and Holy
Do they
Grail
know?
War
No, they
into
don't.
a new show that rivals the Charmony Festival, therefore returning Penacony to the cosmic limelight.
With dreams as the
IPC
gimmick,
hosting the
show is
Grail
sure to
War.
attract
I don't think
a
it's the
lot of
IPC,
money
it's
and a lot of
some
dream chasers.
Penacony company, probably.
I bet old Odie is thinking of the same thing.
This Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War program will be conducted in Penacony. The 7 invited participants will summon famous historical figures to fight alongside them as their servants. And the final
Where
winner
did
will
Clara
receive
go
the
again?
precious
No idea.
opportunity to make
You mean
their
you mean
wish
her as a
come
character or her
Chance
VA?
to make any wish and any miracle come true.
Clara's still stuck
That's
back in
definitely
Bellabog,
nice
I imagine.
gimmick. But, as we all know, people die if they're killed. Bullets
Har,
don't
har.
discriminate.
Of
So
course, they had to
someone
slip
gets
that
caught in
meme
the
in.
crossfire.
Rest assured, everyone, the Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War production crew hereby swear that no one's life will be in danger in the dream. Everyone can participate and watch in peace.
Somehow
Alright,
Kire did it.
alright. Well,
Always
since it's
blame
you,
his ass, huh?
Albert, I'll believe it for now. So, who's participating?
To start off, the owner of the Radiant Feldspar, shareholder of Penacony's superstar, the Soul Glad Festivity.
There's only supposed to be 4
Trailblazer
four masters and 4 servants. Why are there way more than
Trailblazer will be
7?
taking part in
Unless that
another
totals up
adventure.
to unless that
right.
totals up to
In
14.
addition, Miss Robin will also be a part of this war.
Well, as another Penaconian shareholder, the Interastral Peace Corporation's
Hey, Chrono,
Strategic
welcome back.
Investment Department sent
You're just in
me
time.
as their representative in the war.
They're starting to show the fate shit.
Galaxy Ranger Boot Hill will also participate in this Holy Grail War.
Actually, I was just wondering, why is a criminal wanted by the IPC participating in this?
Micah got an invitation too, but he has no time for this. I can't turn a blind eye when someone's in a tight spot, so helping out was the least I could do.
Looks like Mr. Voodoo really has formed deep bonds with folks in Dreamflux Reef.
Well, apart from those we've mentioned, are there any other special participants that we've been looking forward to in this Holy Grail War?
Of course. Apart from local Penaconian heroic spirits, 3 very well-known heroic spirits will also arrive by the Grail Summon and participate in this Holy Grail War. They are respectively Saber, Archer, and Lancer.
That's what I'm talking about. I wonder which
They
heroic
mention
spirit will
Lancer,
end up
but they don't
accepting
fucking
a
show his
contract with
card.
Now,
It's so
see?
cooked, boys.
This is how you attract attention. Now we're gonna get tons of views. That's why you pay big bucks to get the big names. As to what stories will unfold in this Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail War, and who will forge a contract with who, Trailblazers will have to find
Lance is
out
already dead,
in the
yeah.
game.
Fucking
Here's a
killed before they
reminder
could even
that
show it
the
on
Honkai
screen.
Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collaboration Trailblaze Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail will officially start on July 11th. So keep an eye out for it.
Ku found dead in a ditch in the first 5 minutes of the
Let's learn
war.
more about Saber and Archer, our 2 heroic spirits from another world.
Oh, yes!
Saber's dress seems a little
Yeah.
different from
So she doesn't have an
usual now
English
that
voice
she's
at all.
arrived in Penacony.
Well, this is the planet of festivities after all. You gotta dress up for the occasion.
Exactly right. The King of Knights' new outfit was personally designed by Mr. Takashi Takeuchi. It retains her iconic blue and white colors.
And her iconic ahoge.
That's right. It retains the nobility of a king and also emphasizes utility for a warrior. The lines along her shoulders and her cloak are straightforward, while the design of her skirt is quite reminiscent of timeless British fashion.
Yeah,
As for
no
how she
EN.
looks in the
I
game,
kind of wonder then for
well,
EN W's listeners, how are they going to decide on which voice they're going to do? How does the game decide on which voice they're going to use then?
進んできます燃えかけ騎士の魂よはっストライクエア
I think that's the first time Kawasumi Ayako has ever actually had to say the name of her skill.
聖剣解放
Well,
Also, she did a much
Buttermont
better
Fudge,
job
call
voice
me a
acting here
biscuit.
compared to
That
fucking
Excalibur
Type
truly
Lumina.
shows her strength as a king.
Oh, talk about fancy visuals.
And how come the King of Knights is always stuffing her face? Even in Penacony.
Oh, looks like Penaconian food is very much to her liking.
That's right. You can't fight on an empty stomach. Now,
Do you need a
let's
British
see how
VA
the
for
King of
I'm
Knights
sure Saber's
performs in
gotten
battle.
an
Saber
English
is a
dub
wind
before.
character following the path
They
of
just need to find who
destruction.
they
Saber
are,
will
I
gain a
guess.
certain amount of core resonance when she enters battle. If she uses her technique in the overworld, Saber will obtain combat buffs and also more core resonances after entering battle. When she uses her basic attack, she can deal damage to a single enemy.
The King of Knights is cautious as ever in this new world. I see she's still hiding her weapons.
Still weird to
appearance
see
and
Fate characters
true
in
name.
Star Rail.
She uses her
It
skill.
always is weird, but
Saber
you get
will
used to
deal
it.
damage to one designated enemy and its adjacent targets. If Saber has enough core resonance at that time, she'll consume core resonance to regenerate massive amounts of energy for herself and increase her skill's damage.
In other words, you need to accumulate as much core resonance as possible to increase the damage Saber deals.
Exactly.
Are there any other ways to obtain core resonance?
Yes, there are. Whenever any ally uses their ultimate, Saber obtains core resonance and increases her own damage dealt.
Behold, the King of Knights
I
has
have Sweetly
dispelled
stream up on my
invisible
third monitor right now. I just saw a comment from her stream asking, "Why is King Arthur a girl though?" Oh, he doesn't know, does he?
Dealing a devastating blow to the enemy. When using her ultimate, Saber will deal damage to all enemies and turn her basic attack into enhanced basic attack. Her enhanced basic attack can damage all enemies.
Still
and
wondering why
provide
she's not
Saber with a certain
imaginary.
amount
She's not imaginary,
of
she's
core
wind.
resonance. Also, during battle, if the sum of Saber's energy and the energy she can regenerate via consuming core resonance exceeds
Her mana
the
just
amount
comes
of
off
energy she
as
needs to use her ultimate,
yellow.
Saber will immediately
Yellow
take
slash
action.
gold. But her element has always
so
been
if
wind.
you replenish core resonance in as many ways as possible, You
I had
can
this
use
conversation
Excalibur
with somebody
more
from
frequently.
YouTube chat
That's
not too
right.
long ago.
Not only does this sword bear the
Because you're not
key
the
of
only
man's
one
past,
to
present,
wonder
and
why
future,
she's not
but
imaginary.
it
She's not
also
imaginary.
represents
It doesn't
the
make sense for her.
ideal that was held in the hearts of the countless soldiers who once followed her in battle. Whew. All right, that concludes Saber's introduction. Now we'll move on to
Don't
our
tell him.
next otherworldly heroic spirit,
Yeah.
Archer.
Oh, seems like Archer cares about this Holy Grail war very much.
Acha.
He put on a new outfit, too.
Again, no English
He
VA,
even
but I
shaved
mean,
for his
if Saber
accessories
didn't get
go.
one, then what was
Those
the chance that he
decorations
was
out
going
on
to get
his
one
chest
either?
are now on his shoulders.
What sharp eyes you've got, dear guest. Archer's new outfit was also personally designed by Mr. Takashi Takeuchi. It has the classic red and black look. The sharp contrasts.
What do you mean?
of
King
a
Arthur was
blazing
always a girl.
fire in the deep night,
Our little
imbued
personal
with a dangerous
revisionist
allure.
history.
The combination of the long trench coat with skin-tight combat gear.
Now the question is, will they have him
and is the perfect
recite the
fusion
entire
of
fucking chant
attractiveness
in his ultimate?
Ah, you got that right.
Actually, no. There he showed his
Director,
ultimate.
show us
He
the
doesn't
game
use
footage already.
UBW as his ult, unfortunately. Cute. Ah, there it is.
So that's Unlimited Blade Works? Oh, quite impressive indeed. After all, Archer is a seasoned veteran of war.
I am the bone of my sword. That sentence sure brings back a lot of memories.
I agree.
Well then, let's take a look at Archer's combat performance in detail.
Okay, Archer is a quantum character following the path
We'll
of
do
the
another
hunt.
stream later.
When
Yeah,
he uses
after
his
after
basic
this stream
attack,
is done,
Archer
I'll go
can
take a
deal
nap.
damage to one
Finish
designated
up some
enemy.
more
An
gotcha stuff,
archer
go take a
in
nap, and
close
I'll be back.
combat. That's pretty gutsy, I'll give him that.
That's right. But Archer hasn't exactly slacked off on his marksmanship training since coming to Penacony. When using his skill, Archer will consume 2 skill points to enter the circuit connection state, dealing damage to one designated enemy. While in the circuit connection state, Archer's turn will not end. after
Archers
he
are
uses
really
his
made
skill,
are really are
and
made up
he
of
can
archers,
continue to use
guys.
his skill until he runs out of skill points.
Heads up. The more times you use his skill consecutively, the more damage Archer deals to enemies. After all, everyone knows that a dual-wielding fighter
Free
who can't
character,
use
by
the
the way.
double phantasm isn't a good archer. When using his ultimate, Archer will recite the classic chant to activate Unlimited Blade Works, dealing damage to one enemy.
Apart from damaging the enemy, Archer's ultimate also grants him special charge. After any of his teammates' attacks, Archer will consume special charge to use a follow-up attack against the enemy targets, while also recovering 1 skill point for the team.
Oh, in that case, there's no need to worry about running out of skill points again.
He just couldn't help himself and had to use his favorite twin blades.
When he uses his technique to enter battle, Archer will deal damage to all enemies and obtain special charge.
And that's a wrap on Archer's introduction.
Wonder how Fate Lord
Now,
ties up.
I have big news for everyone.
Yeah,
From when the
it'll
Collab
be
release
interesting for
starts on
sure.
July 11th and until the end of version 3.6, Trailblazers can log into the game to claim the limited 5-star Collab character Archer for free.
Oh,
Nice.
awesome!
We hope that
Free character,
under Archer's
smile.
protection, every adventure that the Trailblazers embark on will cleave open the dark clouds and become a saga sung throughout the cosmos. We also hope that your encounter, or for some of you, a reunion, with the servants across this vast universe will bring you all wonderful memories in the days to come.
Oh, yeah! How about that? The free new limited 5-star character mentioned during the anniversary celebration is finally here as promised.
Actually, there's even more! Later this year, Trailblazers
But wait,
will get
that's not all.
another brand new limited 5-star character totally for free!
Oh, awesome!
But let's keep our eyes on the present for now. I'm not quite done yet. Besides claiming Archer for free,
Does that
Trailblazers
basically
can also
confirm
directly obtain set amount of
a
character
second
enhancement
part to the
materials
UBW
for
collab?
Archer.
Because that's honestly the
Wow,
biggest
how
news of the stream so
thoughtful.
far.
Yeah, this version's got a lot of characters to level up after all.
All right, now let's check out the banner.
I'm gonna
detail.
build Emiya. I
When
build every
Collab
single
starts
5-star
on July
character in the
11th,
game.
Trailblazers can use
So,
Star Rail
the
special
default
passes in
answer
the
is
character
yes.
Collaboration warps, Excalibur Excelsior, and the bone of my sword to obtain the limited 5-star characters Saber and Archer respectively. And the Light Cone collaboration.
Will be available
Trailblazers
for a
can get the
long
limited 5-star
time
Light
after
Cone,
its launch.
take a coronation from
What does that even
birth to a
mean?
king. And the limited 5-star Light Cone, the hell where ideals burn, from Red Radiance of Fuyuki. In addition, pity counts are shared between the character collaboration warp banners and also separately shared between the Light Cone collaboration banners. But neither carries over to other types of warps.
Okay.
It's worth mentioning here that the
Oh, they
character
should have
and
said
Light
that
Cone
he's gonna be
collab
useless 'cause he's
banners will
free.
stay open
You mean Tectone?
long-term after the event
I'm
starts.
assuming you're talking about
Does
Tectone.
long term mean even after versions 3.4 or 3.6 wrap up, you can still pull Saber, Archer, and the limited 5-star Light Cones?
Exactly. These collab banners will run across multiple versions with no fixed end date yet.
Oh, nice!
And here's one more piece of news for you all. Throughout the entire duration of version 3.4, using Star Rail special passes for your warps will bring some special limited time discounts. After the collab event starts, when Trailblazers spend a designated number of Star Rail special passes, they can directly obtain the limited 5-star Light Cone, the hell where ideals burn.
Throughout all of
Oh, you are
version
talking about him?
3.4? In other words, after the 3.4 update and before the collab event starts, any Star Rail special passes used in the banners for Finan or other rerun characters will still count toward the total, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Oh,
Right.
yeah!
And now, as the collab kicks off, the voice actors for Saber and Archer have some things they'd like to say to all of us. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll be back to hear their special messages.
これからマスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。セイバー役のカスメ
I'm
役で
surprised
す。
they didn't make a like record an actual in-person
アニメテッドブレ
video
ード
for
ワー
her.
クスの
but-
コラボが間もなく開催ということで、私もとてもワクワクしています。この2つの作品にはどこか似ているものがあるなと感じました。剣を手に運命と立ち向かうセイバーの姿は厳しい冒険の中でも前へと進み続ける開拓
These
者の
face out
姿と
tier.
似ているのではないかな
Tiers
と思いました。
sort of don't really matter in Star Rail,
フェイトと
considering what this game is, how this game is
新たな魅
balanced.
力が
But
生まれていくのを感じました。あまり
I
多
mean,
くは話せない
how
の
was
で
it?
すが、
Ratio's still pretty
セイ
good.
バーが
So,
スターレールの世界でどのように信念と理想を貫いていくのか、
or at least I
ぜ
think
ひ
he
お楽
still
しみ
is.
ください。このコラボがたくさんの皆さんに楽しんでいただけたら嬉しいです。星々と聖杯が交わる旅の中で、あなただけの熱い思いとロマンに出会えますように。それでは最後に、
She sounds really happy.
開拓者。
Well, I would
あなた
imagine
は私の
so.
マスターか。
She's getting that Hoyoverse money now. Well, not now.
これから
but-
マスターになる開拓者の皆さん、こんばんは。フェイトステイナイトでアーチャーを担当しております声優の諏訪部純一です。崩壊スターレイルとフェイトステイナイトアンリミテッドブレードワークスのコラボが間もなく開催となります。赤い九兵はあまたの世界を旅してきましたが、ピノコニで繰り広げられる聖杯戦争は彼にとってこれまでとは全く違うものになるのではないでしょうか。崩壊スターレイルの世界でアーチャーが戦う姿が見られるのが本当に楽しみです。おなじみのキャラクターたちが未知の銀河で
Put right
自
in
分
the
をどの
game.
ように再定義していくのか。
Well,
その
the
行方を
biggest news from this stream
ぜひ
is that
見届けてくださ
they
い。
basically soft
収録
confirmed
の
the
際に
part 2
アーチャーの戦
for
闘シーン見せていただい
the
たんですが、
Unlimited Blade Works collab because they said something about how they're gonna give us another free 5-star character later.
かっこよかったです。
So
素晴らしかった
who
です
knows?
今回のコラボ企画の中でもアーチャーのかっこよさ存分にお楽しみいただけると思いますので、絶対にプレイしてくださいね。これはまたとんでもないマスターに引き当てられたものだ。
All right. Big thanks to our voice actors for those thoughtful messages. With the Honkai
Imagine
Star
FGO2
Rail
is
and
actually
Fate
Star Rail.
Stay
I mean,
Night
Blazing,
Unlimited
I've
Blade
said
Works
multiple
collab
times
launch.
over the past 2 years that Star Rail is literally just FGO 2.0.
In this collaboration, we would like to express our sincere gratitude to Mr. Kinoko Nasu and Mr. Takashi Takeuchi.
There's
for their
Nasu
unwavering
and
support from the
Takeuchi name
earliest
dropped.
writing stages to the final implementation. And thank you to the Animation Production Committee and everyone else involved for all their hard work on this collab.
Y'all are much appreciated.
Honestly, it's only with this kind of dedication that we can bring you all the ultimate joy!
In order to showcase the Holy Grail War from multiple angles and levels, the organizers say that they've also prepared
What was with
another
Aventurine's voice line
combat-filled
there?
program, Fate Stay Night. It was a night with no wind and no moon under the cool breeze of Penacony. The Trailblazer met the red-haired Lancer destined to cross their path. He stepped forward, raising his spear and uttered that iconic line.
The goddess of beauty is the most peerless beauty of them all.
Oh, so
All this time we still don't even know what the Grail War the Holy Grail War event itself is.
The genius Skullum made some modifications to the Holy Grail. Now, the Grail can load the simulated data of past striders through the user's memories. So in Fate Stay Night, Trailblazers will face off against many familiar and
Archer
old
actually
friends.
at one point was better than casters in terms of DPS during the beta. I don't know how I feel about comparing a single target versus a an AoE,
Smart
but
way to beat your opponents.
At the start of the game, Trailblazers get some free pieces, each with different classes that grant different buffs. You can merge identical
fucking
pieces to
FGO
upgrade
trauma.
them. The higher
Oh
the
god,
piece's
chat.
rarity,
It's
the
the
stronger
pieces
the
and
buff.
monuments all over
Pieces
again.
of the same class have bonds between them too. Collect enough pieces of the same class, and you activate special bond effects that give you a serious boost in battle.
Looks like bonds are super
Bond
important in this
effects.
Holy Grail War.
Now we're gonna be bond farming in this game too?
That's
Shit.
not all. Trailblazers can
I thought I
also
escaped
acquire
that hell
removal
years ago.
phantasms during battle for extra help. Plus, during combat, Trailblazers can have the chance to get 3 command spells. Using these spells grants additional buffs.
Command spells, huh? Well, I'm curious. What role is the Trailblazer playing this
Yeah,
time?
White Fury. We know all about that, don't we?
Player.
This Grail feels kind of off. Forking hell. Could it be corrupted?
You right on the money. Trailblazers
Oh, you
can
don't
increase
say,
the
Boot
Holy
Hill.
Grail's corruption level to unlock extra buff mechanics. The higher the corruption level, the more points you earn when you win. Heads
Where
up,
the Avengers
using
at?
corruption
Avengers
level
are an
also
irregular
powers up your enemies.
irregular
So
class.
watch your
They
step,
only really
Trailblazers.
show up in FGO.
Oh, but don't worry
They're not
too
supposed
much.
they're not supposed to be a
After
class
all,
that you
this
can
is a
summon during a
reality show
normal
competition, and
Holy
just
Grail
for
War.
entertainment. The organizers of Fate Stay Night have also prepared a special Protected Mode competition. In Protected Mode, Trailblazers can fight using trial characters, and enemy strength is toned down.
Ah, this way, new Trailblazers can jump in and fully enjoy
Yeah,
the
to bait in
Holy
the
Grail War
debate to
experience.
not bait. That's kind of a strong word. To facilitate newcomers.
Experience some epic battle action.
And score yourself some stellar jades and other awesome rewards.
Now, just a quick reminder, this Honkai Star Rail and Fate Stay Night Unlimited Blade Works collaboration is split into 2 parts. The Trailblazer Continuance, Sweet Dreams and the Holy Grail, and the event, Fate Stay Night. The Fate Stay Night event will open for play on July 11th. The 2 programs stand on their own, so Trailblazers can dive into each separately.
Awesome!
Oh,
So much
yes.
content!
All right. Big thanks again to our 2 guests. That wraps up today's Fate Collab update.
Presenter, your mission is complete.
It's all part of the job. Anything for the Trailblazers. So Trailblazers, my honored masters, let's meet again in version 3.4. See you there.
We hope you'll stay the night.
Bye-bye.
See you next time, guys.
See you next time.
Bye.
Fucks with this portrait of Albert at the end. Oh, that was quick. What was the 3rd code? I must have missed the 3rd code somewhere. Oh, got it. Okay. Alright. That was fun. Firefly skin is only cosmetic. Well, it's its skin, so yeah, it should only be cosmetic. I mean, the more interesting question I have is, does Sam's armor change at all? Because it didn't look like it did. So yeah, the most important thing that I took away from that was that, correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounded like they plan on making the Unlimited Blade Works collab a two-parter. So that answers my question of how they were planning to fit all the characters into the story, all the characters into the game, because considering they decided to release Saber and Archer, and it was it's an Unlimited Blade Works collab, and in UBW the main characters are what? Shiro, Rin. She's the main girl, obviously. What? Archer. Gil is the main not protagonist, antagonist. So I was like, okay, so how are they gonna put Gil in there? How are they gonna put Gil in there? So it's like, okay, so what kind of characters are they gonna put in if at maximum they can only put in two new characters? Well, I guess the answer was to split up the collab into two parts, I guess. Yeah. And considering they said they're gonna give us another free 5 stars, so yeah, that opens up some more possibilities then. Well, I know that, who is it? Braxophone's probably going to be he's going to be disappointed as soon as he finds out that Rin is not going to be a playable character, but... You wonder about, Berserker? Herc, if I remember UBW correctly, Herc wasn't exactly like a major antagonist. I don't think so, anyway. I think his most prominent role in UBW was... What, doesn't Gil just fucking murk him? Because UBW is the anime where Gil fucking slashes out Ilya's eyes, right? So yeah, I don't know how much of an impact Ilya and Herc are gonna have on the collab itself. Yeah. For right now, the two most likely additions are Gilgamesh and Lancer. Like, there's a small... I was gonna say there was a small chance that they might add Ryder, because I don't know how MiHoYo feels about adding 2 husbandos into the game. I get the feeling that they might be thinking about adding in a waifu somewhere. So maybe Rin gets in? I don't know how that would work, though. When are we slashing Clara's eyes out, too? That probably won't happen, thankfully. Hey, Lovely Tay, welcome back. Good morning to you, too. Maybe Star Rail can collab with Prism Italy? Yeah, no chance. Twitter's gonna have a fucking field day with that one. Ren's a mage, so she can be a character. Considering their, considering they put in Saber and, Emiya into, or, well, Archer into the game, I don't think they're gonna put in, any Masters. Because if they were gonna do that, then they would have done it this patch. Instead of, Saber, they would go with, Rin. Put in Rin and, Archer into the game. Because that would make perfect sense, because they're some of the main characters in Unlimited Blade Works specifically. So, you would think that if any of the Masters are going to be playable, you'd think that they'd put in Rin right now. Unless they are like, well, Saber's too iconic, we can't, you know, we can't have a Fate collab without having Saber in there somewhere. But, My thinking is that right now, or my thinking right now is that they don't want to put in any masters as playable characters. Instead, they just want to put in servants. But if that's the case, then what other waifu character who's a servant from Unlimited Blade Works would they even put into the collab, right? Saber's the obvious one, but after her, who else fits the bill when it comes to Unlimited Blade Works? Stream chat was extremely... Yeah, but it's fucking stream chat, bruh. When are they not obnoxious? Ryder was basically irrelevant in UBW. I'm pretty sure the only route in Fate Stay that she had like a major role in was Heaven's Feel. You know, actually, now that I think about it, there's nothing stopping Star Rail from having a collab with Heaven's Feel. Now that I think about it, cause like, yeah, nothing stopping MiHoYo from being like, you know, from switching up on our asses and be like, oh, now we're collabing with Heaven's Feel this time. Though I'm not sure how likely that is to happen. If they were gonna collab with Heaven's Feel, I feel like they would have already told us by now. So it's probably not a Heaven's Feel collab, or like a Part 2 Heaven's Feel collab. It's still probably gonna be Unlimited Blade Works. Yeah, and Caster's VA is unfortunately gone, so no Caster, unless they decide to recast her, but that's probably not likely. They can, because of dreams and how different singularities work. Yeah, I'm saying there's a small chance, but obviously I wouldn't bank anything on it. Still interesting to consider, though. If Heaven's Feel, can they put in Cursed Storm? I'm not too sure. Probably not. First of all, very few people even know who he is. Second of all, what if normies find out about Cursed Storm? They're gonna have a fucking field day with that too. Because remember, Cursed Storm is Middle Eastern. I'm pretty sure. All of the Hasashins are. I'm pretty sure. So there's some like social media landmines that Cursed Storm could set off on Twitter. Even ignoring that, most people have no clue who Cursed Storm is. Like, even normies, even like anime normies, kind of have an idea about who Saber is. They kind of have an idea about who Emiya is, or Archer, because, you know, they've heard about all the fucking, you know, memes and shit, and Unlimited Blade Works, and, you know, I am the bone of my sword and shit like that. So they're kind of like, oh yeah, I kind of know that guy. Who the fuck, like, they're not gonna know who Cursed Storm is. They have no idea who he is. Let alone the fact that, you know, he'll probably go by True Assassin. They're gonna be like, who the fuck is True Assassin? So. Rewatch the VOD. Sam's armor also changes. Okay, that's good at least. I figure they did make some changes. I just didn't catch them because they did specifically show Sam's armor. So I was like, okay, maybe they made some changes to it. So I just didn't catch them. Must be some subtle changes though. Don't know if the crest worms from Heaven's Feel would pass Hoyo's filter. Well, I mean, they can just omit that, you know. Like they can leave out the more gruesome details of Fate. Kind of disappointed no next buff patch units. As in like part of raid up? No, they're putting Blade and Jinglu back on raid up. I think they said Kafka and Silverwolf will get reruns next patch. The normies won't care. If you're talking about Cursed Arm, Hoyo certainly does. Wish Firefly had a summer outfit instead of a spring one. Yeah. Imagine Star Rail putting in swimsuit skins. Who do they think they are? Zenless Zone Zero? Next batch of unit buffs might roll out in 3.6 or 3.7. Yeah, probably. They won't be for a while. And remember, CN doesn't allow playable evil characters. Well, you can certainly bend. They can certainly bend the rules on that. Gotta wait for extra collab. Then extra collab is even less likely than Heaven's Field collab. Extra is like basically unknown to the broader anime community. Mainly because Extra for the longest time has never been fucking localized. I mean, it will be once Extra Record comes out, but you know who the fuck knows when that game's gonna come out. You're referring to normies not caring about how good a character is, but drawing the fact that they're based on Middle Eastern figures. Yeah, well, that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. So yeah, that's what I was referring to when I said that Cursed Arm might trigger some landmines with on social media. So, not a great not the best character to put in as a collab character in Star Rail. Wasn't Extra fans translated? Yeah, probably, initially. CCC has never been officially localized into English, that's for sure. And I'm pretty sure it never will be either, considering CCC's content. What if Part 2 is Fate Zero? I mean, it could be, yeah. Yeah, it could be Fate Zero as well. In which case, who would they even add in Fate Zero, if that were the case? Who are the servants in Fate Zero again? We have Lancer Zero, or Zero Lancer / Deermud. Gilgamesh is a prominent character there too. So whether it's, you know, UBW Part 2 or Fate Zero, Gil is a strong candidate, obviously. Who are the other ones? Iskander. Iskander's obviously a main character. Saber as well, duh. If masters are playable, then they could always put an Irisveal, I guess. Might be a lesser known character, but you know, waifus, so. And we get to NTR Kiritsugu again, so. Oh yeah, Gilda Ray. Yeah, they're not putting his ass in there. His whole motif is a skull mask. Yeah, that too, Chais, yeah. Good point. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, his Cursed Arms skull mask wouldn't fly. Merlin, maybe? Why on earth would they put in Merlin? Nobody cares about the EN voice about Saber. Well, I mean, these are normies, these are anime normies we're talking about. They don't give a shit about JP dub. Let them talk their shit. They're all tourists anyway. And if nothing else, Tay, just console yourself with the fact that EN listeners will be forced to choose which of the 3 non-English languages they like hearing the most. Merlin's first appearance is an FGO. Now that you mention it, yeah. You might be right. I think he was mentioned in other Fate works, but he was never actually, like, revealed physically until FGO. Though I will say, I would still prefer Saber and Archer at least having an English voice option. Even if it doesn't affect me, I will still admit that it's pretty fucking weird that she doesn't at least have an English voice. Because even if their Japanese voices are fucking iconic, well, that doesn't explain why they still have Chinese and Korean dubs. So, if they could get them Chinese and Korean dubs, then okay. Could you not at least have recast their English voices too? I don't know. Like, it would still be nice. But, given the circumstances, especially surrounding that fucking voice actor strike thing, you know. Oh well. Was UW ever dubbed? I'm sure it was. I wouldn't know though because I don't watch dubbed anime, but I'd be surprised if it was never dubbed. Probably taking a minute. Hopefully they like retroactively add voices. That's my hope. Maybe they'll figure it out and maybe they'll take time to add their English voices back in or something. But until then, gotta work with what we got. There was, yeah. And I'm not surprised. Ow. It would be funny having a British VA voice Artoria. I mean, considering she's literally a British servant, yeah. Well, technically the fucking time period that King Arthur was from, she probably wouldn't have an accent that's, like, recognizable, but then again, you know, Holy Grails can do some weird things. Yeah, exactly, White Fury. Maybe later. Did the stream happen? Yeah, Rex Nemesis. Do you have the codes? I can actually just yoink them from Sweetly stream. There you go. Still have some problems with English VA. Still have no idea who's gonna replace Paimon's VA. Honestly, they might still be doing auditions now. And to be fair, yeah, they should take their time with it because even if I didn't like Paimon's EN voice, for better or for worse, like that was kind of the voice that's kind of the voice that most people kind of associate with Paimon. And considering we always heard Paimon, it's gonna be very weird hearing Paimon have a new voice. Even if Paimon's new voice turns out to be actually better, or at least, you know, more tolerable to listen to, it's still gonna be very weird. So I would hope that MiHoYo is taking their sweet ass time deciding on, you know, a replacement. But we'll see. We'll see how long it'll take them. They already replaced them. We just don't know who they are yet. Yeah, I guess you're right. Good point. Because I think I remember seeing on Twitter that it was only recently that the English Zenless VAs were officially credited. So you might be right about that. Maybe Paimon's new VA is for now quote unquote a secret. You prefer a new Paimon VA? Because you can associate her with it sounds more similar to her Chinese and Japanese tone more. Oh, that's good then. They chose to remain anonymous. Honestly, a good idea. Wait until the situation boils over before revealing themselves later on down the road. Could have made Escoffier's VA just go full British. Why didn't they just give Escoffier a French accent and just have her act like fucking Gordon Ramsay? Basically a French Gordon Ramsay. Yeah, exactly, a Megaman. Yeah, they might attack Paimon's new VA, and she might get caught up in the backlash. So yeah, probably good. Not probably. It's a great idea that she is laying low for now, whoever she is. I'm sure some people will already know, just because, you know, they'll be able to recognize her voice, but, I mean, yeah. As long as it's not official for now. They might never. I think eventually they will, just maybe wait 6 months to a year. Make sure that all the fucking voice actor drama is, like, fully in the past. But yeah, certainly not right now. Not anytime soon. While it's still fresh on everyone's minds. Feel like the Genshin team isn't cool with accents. You don't really know why. I think it's not really the developers. It's because we know that MiHoYo at least contracts out like at least for English voices they contract out the job of finding you know, suitable voice actors to like other like contracting agencies. So instead of MiHoYo doing it, it's like third-party like talent agencies going out there and scouting for potential VAs, or like VAs applied to them or something like that, and they act on behalf of MiHoYo and go through the selection process for them. So I honestly don't think it's MiHoYo making like decisions on who should be VAs or not. It's probably the contracting talent agencies who make that call. Not to mention, on top of that, even when the VAs get selected, Genshin also has like voice directors. I'm sure. I don't know how affiliated they are with MiHoYo themselves, but there are voice like directors who also heavily influence how, you know, the final voice lines turn out to sound like. So plenty of like factors involved, I guess. But don't they control the voice direction? Well, here's the thing, they're Chinese, so I don't know how much of that influences their decision. I mean, it's not impossible, because like clearly Chinese studios can like select appropriate voice actors and actresses. Because remember, Arknights has fantastic, for the most part, fantastic voice actor or like voice acting direction. So if Hypergriff can do it, then MiHoYo can too. But clearly Hypergriff cares far more about, you know, proper voice acting direction than MiHoYo does. So yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Maybe it's like a little bit of this, a little bit of that, maybe. It's usually up to the consumer to tell the company what they want. Yeah, but it's also up to the company to decide whether or not they want to listen to that feedback in the first place. And unfortunately, outside of like big dramas or big situations like the whole SAG-AFTRA strike bullshit stuff for the past like year or so, usually, you know, big companies like MiHoYo aren't gonna bother listening to their players, right? I mean, they'll listen sometimes, but very slowly. Oh, you're saying that Hoya was technically a consumer in that scenario? I guess you're right. I wasn't, I didn't think of it that way. Or I didn't realize you were talking about it that way. But I mean, hey, remember, Hoya is still a Chinese company. They're still made up of Chinese employees and directors and shit. So maybe they heard it themselves and they're like, oh, that sounds fine. And they just greenlighted it, you know? They're not native English speakers. And I doubt that they care about voice acting to the same degree as, like, say, Hypergriff does towards Arknights. So I guess you just get some weird voices that to us native English speakers we're like, Escoffier shouldn't really sound like that, but it is what it is, I guess. I mean, if we're gonna complain about Escoffier not having a proper British or French accent, then I mean we can complain about all of the literally the entire Natlan crew speaking with perfect English accents or American accents, and not like having like accents that reflect their like native lands. I'm pretty sure Nahida doesn't speak with an Indian accent, right? Negativity for their game is a good thing. In small quantities, yes. But the problem is that most people just let their fucking negativity spiral out of control. And I don't need to mention the kinds of people who tend to do that now, do I? Nahida Habibi. One can only imagine the reception for that. The small Indian child. Do not redeem the card. Hello, my name is Nahida. How may I help you today? Sorry, my Indian accent is very terrible. I apologize. This is why you uninstall. Yeah, if you stop having fun with the game, or you feel like the game is unfortunately not changing like in the way that you want it to, or not changing as fast as you want it to, and you can't really deal with it anymore, then yeah, best thing to do is just stop playing the game, unfortunately. Anyways, chat, that was a nice little 2-hour stream. But yeah, excited to hear that they basically officially confirmed a part 2 for the Fate collab. Though that's cool. Also, I'm really interested to see how exactly they're gonna handle Saber's banner, or like the Saber and Archer banner. Like how long exactly it'll last for once it comes out. Because like they're gonna be like standalone banners that are separate from the usual patch cycle, right? Oh, Hythen being the comical Indian YouTube lecturer. Or take a break and come back after like a few months. Yeah, give yourself a break. Have a break. Have a Kit Kat. I've been getting a lot of Kit Kat ads on Twitch lately. And they have their own special passes. Yeah, they have their own separate pity and everything. But hey, if their banners are gonna last like literal months, then, you know, I have less of a problem with that. To be fair. Gotta be a while, yeah. I would just like to know like how long they last for though, because I think in the stream itself it didn't really specify. Unless they did specify, I just didn't see it, which could be the case. Had matcha Kit Kats before. Yeah, they're pretty good. Not my favorite, but they're nice. You going back to Genshin when physical is back on the menu, which is basically never. Yeah. I think physical is fucking cooked right now, and Genshin probably it will stay that way for God knows how long. You know, they want to give time for new players to see Saber and Archer. If they wanted money fast, they could have just made Saber and Archer's banners run for the usual time. That would guarantee even more money. They didn't have to say that. They didn't have to make their banners separate from the usual patch cycle and last like, you know, a much longer time than banners usually do. To be fair. Oh, excuse me. Oof, it's hot in my room. Summer definitely is here now. Anyways, chat, I'm gonna get out of here. It was a nice little short little 2-hour stream. Watching the Star Rail stream. I will see you guys. I will see you guys later today, in about maybe 8 hours or so. So yeah, I'll see you guys then for another hopefully long stream, because I got a lot of events to grind through in all of our gacha games. So oh boy. Got to catch up with all the events. That's what Honkai did with the Evangelion collab, so more people would join in. It's probably some sort of marketing strat. Yeah, probably. But yeah, Anyways, chat. Thanks for watching. Thanks everybody for stopping by. I know it was a weird stream, EU-friendly stream, but I'm gonna get out of here. So yeah. I'm gonna rate Sweetly again just because this is hilarious. I got to say that I rated Sweetly twice in one stream. So. Anyways, I sent you guys over to her. She's still talking about Star Rail stuff, collab stuff. So go join her. In which case, I'll see you guys later today, guys. In about hopefully 8, 9, 10 hours. We'll see. Anyways, take care, guys. Peace.